But when I was living and working in South Africa, one Saturday afternoon after ballet class, three friends and myself jumped into a car and headed towards a game reserve to go bushwalking, as you do in South Africa. And when we were on the freeway, the motorway, a drunk driver apparently came down the off-ramp of the freeway on the wrong side of the freeway and hit our car head on. So I was involved in a car crash in 1997 it was, and I was left paralyzed from the chest down, and my three friends unfortunately were killed in the car accident. So as you can imagine, being a dancer, my whole world was about my body. And then I woke up in a hospital bed, paralyzed initially from the neck down. So I have a spinal cord injury in my neck, C6, C7. So yeah, that began a sort of a new journey in my life. And once I was safe to travel and had all the necessary operations and so forth, I was transferred back to Australia to go through rehabilitation, which took about 4 to 6 months. And as you know, my world was all dance. I grew up in a very traditional dance form and traditional dance training. So when I was training, I was never told, or I was never exposed to anybody else with a disability dancing. So the thought of me dancing didn't initially jump into my mind, but I did know that I was still Marc Brew. I was still a dancer, and I still wanted to express myself through movement, because that's where I had my confidence in, and that self-expression was to be on stage and dancing with others. And thankfully, I, of course, had lots of good friends who were also dancers. So when I was ready, I then started getting back into the studio and exploring how I could move using a wheelchair, out of my chair, on the floor, doing partnering work. And then I just realized, that for me, dance wasn't about being on two legs or having wonderful, extensions and beautiful turnout. I mean, they're wonderful things to have, but that's not what dance means to me. Dance was about expressing myself through movement and through my body. And yes, my body has shifted and changed, but I still have a body, so with this body, I dance. And that sort of trajectored me on the journey of continuing my career and sort of paving my own path of being a disabled dancer and choreographer. And then I started researching other integrated companies that work with disabled and non-disabled dancers. So I found out about Axis and also Infinity Dance Theatre in New York. And then I did some work in London as well with Can Do Go Dance Company. So so I started exploring those options, and before I knew it, I was back dancing again.